Hi, everyone. It's Kate Byers, founder of Corporate Women Unleash. We are talking about happiness for hyper successful women today. So, if you are hyper successful, you are someone who's a game changer, you know who you are. We want to talk about happiness because this unprecedented time that we are living in right now is affording us a really rare opportunity. So, for part of us, you may be so flat out right now because your role and your position in your company may be truly trying to manage through this unprecedented uncertainty, correct? And who better to do that than you, right? If you're someone who is highly successful, you know what to do. You'll know you're going to figure it out. And that's an exceptional spot to be in. So this is an exciting time for you to really rise above the pack and show everyone what you're truly capable of. It's a time to be an influencer. It's a time to create radical change. It's a time to put a pretty significant notch in your lipstick case, right? And hyper successful women, that's what we love. We love creating results. We love creating impact. So what a phenomenal time. Now is not the time for you to be burning out, for you to be crispy on the edges, or for you to be doubting yourself. Now is the time for you to be resourcing yourself so you're really strong. On the other hand, there's another group of highly successful women right now who are having less pressure. You're not having to go in the office. You're not having to put your suit on every day. You're working from home. Maybe some of the goals that you were working towards, that your company is working towards, has changed because of this unprecedented time that we're living in. So what can happen in that case is you start to live in what we call the happiness window. And if you are someone who is driven and ambitious, you're a workaholic, you know exactly what I'm talking about. The happiness window is when you work flat out and then all of a sudden you crest over that project, you get it finished, and you have these glorious few moments to rest. It might be a Friday night. It might be a long weekend. It might be a well-deserved vacation. And for that one night, that one day, that 1 week, you get to revel in your success. All the pressure is off because you've just finished and completed some huge deadline. And so what happens is, I call it the happiness window, where in general, you're not happy. You're not living in a state of happiness and contentment, but oh, you grabbed some happiness on Saturday. Did not feel good. Life is really not that bad. And what happens is, for highly successful people, because you have such a high tolerance for pain, and because we are so used to just pushing through huge obstacles that most would be, terrified of, we allow ourselves to accept these little tiny moments of happiness, and we allow it to pacify us. And we say, well, wait, I am hyper successful. Look at me. I do have the good life. And even though that happiness window was just a Saturday morning, or it was just a 1 week vacation, or it was just a Friday night, you allow yourself to talk yourself into being content with that. You know what? I am happy. It's okay. Everything's fine. And we're seeing that right now, like rampantly. Like here we are, we have all these highly successful women who don't have the pressure behind you right now. I remember this happened to me. So because of COVID-19, right, there may not be a lot of pressure on you. Now, I'm not talking about women who are in a full-on COVID-19, SOS role. I'm talking for those of us where a little bit of pressure has been let off because we don't have a commute. We're working from home. The goals have been a little lax because of this rare environment we're in. And I remember this happening to me. I'm embarrassed to admit this, but when my daughter was 6 years old, she had chickenpox. This was 20 years ago, before we had, vaccines and all these things for it. And I was so relieved. I'm embarrassed to tell you, I was so relieved because I had an excuse. Oh God, the pressure is off. I can actually call the office and tell them, hey, for the next week, I can't come in. And of course, this was before you were connected, right? So it was awesome. Like, we stopped at Blockbuster Video. We got videos. We had, snack food. It was like a week of eating junk, watching my poor daughter obviously suffer, putting a lot of, what is the stuff, the pink stuff on all her little polka dots, which was not fun, obviously, but I didn't have to work. For 1 whole week, I had permission to relax. I had permission to binge watch TV. I had permission that the pressure was off. My phone wasn't ringing, and it was exquisite, even though very tragically my poor daughter was sick and I was caring for her. So what we're seeing in this COVID-19 time is that a lot of highly successful people who have been struggling to find contentment, struggling to find peace, struggling to find freedom in your good life, in the success you've created. COVID-19 is offering you one of two options. One is you could just do what I did, which was when my daughter had the chicken pox. I was like, oh, life's not bad. Look at me. I've got this whole week where I've got permission. And you could just sort of, float your way through this and just skate through it, status quo. And then, of course, what's going to happen is the gears of our economy, the gears of your job, the gears of the pressure are going to come back. They're not going to go away, right? Like this is sort of like the calm in the middle of the storm. And when they come back, they're going to hit hard. And if you're a workaholic and you don't know how to work differently, man, you're going to go under. And now we're going to go right back to where we were before, where you're exhausted, you're overwhelmed, you're unhappy, you're wondering why I'm working so hard. What's this all for? This was supposed to be great. And nothing has changed, right? And so if we don't create change, obviously nothing's going to change. The world has changed around us and we're staying status quo. And while that may give you some breathing room right now, it's not going to fix things when the gears get, when the machine starts up again, nothing's going to be fixed. And so what this really is this fabulous, unique opportunity. And we're seeing, a small group of women take advantage of it and go, wait a minute, I have an opportunity here to really think through and address and resource myself so that as I come back into my career full on, when COVID-19 is not giving me this nice little bubble of a space to work from home in my jammies, I'm going to be ready. And I'm going to be ready to start up in a new way, which says, now my well-being is important. Now I'm going to learn how to pace myself in my career. Now I'm going to learn to put up appropriate boundaries so I don't ruin my reputation, but I also can enjoy the success I've had. And what's really killer about this, and this is the thing that every highly successful person will enjoy because we love control, is that you get to control this. And I didn't realize this for a long time. And I should do a whole nother broadcast, and I will. I was always trying to solve for my burnout, for my disdain, for my exhaustion, for all the things that I was experiencing, because I was on, just like you, these little roller coasters of like, oh, life's happy. Then life was like really like back down here. And then, oh, life got happy. And I had these little happiness moments. And it's like these little brief happiness moments. And I was so tired of riding this up and down, up and down, up and down. I was like, I just want to be content. I just want like peace and calm and control and to feel amazing about my work, but to actually get to enjoy the success. And so, of course, I tried all these things that were external to me. I started changing jobs, changing bosses, changing, from this type of industry to that type of industry, everything I could think of externally to me, until I finally was like, oh, maybe I need to change me. Is that possible? Which is kind of hard because if you're highly successful, you really like yourself a lot. Like I really do. I have a lot of confidence in myself, but I had to realize like, wait a minute, Kate, like you have made it into the big leagues of being a world-class athlete, but you haven't done anything differently now that you got here. Like you're in the big leagues, you're an executive, you have an executive role, you have executive level decisions to make, you have the pressures of an executive, you have all of these things that have changed externally to you, but you haven't changed anything internally. Are you really going to be able to play ball in the big leagues, or are you going to burn out? And what I did, obviously, was I burned out. So what I'm suggesting to you is that this is a rare opportunity. Like that week that my daughter had the chicken pox, I could have spent that week, yes, caring for her, and yes, taking a slower pace. All of that's great, but really resourcing myself and thinking about how was I going to come back different? How was I going to create the change so I would get the life and the result in my work that I wanted to see? This is a rare opportunity. Like, I don't know if we are ever going to be handed this opportunity again. Is there tragedy in this opportunity? Yes. I don't want to take that away. Obviously, COVID-19 is a really unprecedented, uncertain time. But for many of us, it's taken the edge off of the pressure, the stress, the drive, the need to be in the office, the need to be on airplanes, all of those things. This is a phenomenal opportunity for you to get off the fence and into a new way of being so that now you're navigating your career post COVID-19 as a real pro, right? Someone who is really playing pro level ball and has done the heavy lifting internally, emotionally, mentally, as well as physically so that you come back and you're way above the pack, but you're getting the life you want, right? You're no longer teetering on that trade-off. Oh my gosh, am I going to have to give up my career in order to have a break? Oh, wait, am I going to have to give up my family and my health and love and connections and memories just so I can have an audacious career that then somehow gives me the paycheck to fuel those personal life that I'm not able to enjoy? That doesn't make sense. Success does not have to mean suffering. I thought that for so long. I thought, well, Kate, you're at the top. Guess what? You're going to have to pay the price. Yes, there are different challenges. Yes, there are different levels of risk. There are different types of decisions you have to make. And there are certainly big ramifications and consequences to the decisions you make at this point. But that doesn't mean it has to be sacrificed. It doesn't mean it has to be suffering. It doesn't mean it has to cost you your marriage. It doesn't mean it has to cost you your health. But if you're not resourcing yourself and you're not creating the interchange to play pro ball and to play at that athlete level, a pro basketball player doesn't just dribble the ball for 20 years and then make it into the pro league. That pro basketball player is working on their emotional state. They're working on their mental state. They're working on new tools and techniques. They're taking what they had done really, really well, and they're breaking it down and they're recreating it to be even better. That is what you do to enjoy the good life, to be someone who can play at this level and, can work at this level and play at this level, who can work at this level and go home at night, leave it at the door, and be fun and patient and calm and have energy. Someone who can work at this level and still work out and take care of your health and be proactive. Keeping your head above water to be successful is not success. Success is built across the life, not just in one area. So just suggesting, now's a phenomenal time. I know I'm taking advantage of it. This is good. Our company's thriving. But it's also we've got, things are different and we have this phenomenal opportunity. So everyone in our company is like, ooh, what can we do next? How can we become that next level that we need to get to really enjoy this even more, to really grab the sweetness and the juice of this good life? But if you're settling for the happiness window, this is a nice little window of happiness. And then you're kicking it down the road, man, you're missing an opportunity. Don't miss the opportunity. Don't accept happiness. I suggest that happiness can be something that happens every day. And it's something that you can live in and baste yourself in and marinate in. And that's the good life. That's why we work so hard. That's what we were getting to. We want to be the person who is enjoying this life every single second, not just for a Saturday morning, a 1-week vacation, or a one-off Friday night. You want to live in it. And now's a great time to get ready for it. So I hope you and your loved ones are safe. I hope you're healthy. I hope this broadcast might motivate you and inspire you for what's truly possible. I know for myself and for the clients we work with, trade-offs are not something we're willing to settle for, and I don't want it to be for you too. So it's been great speaking with you guys. I will be back next week with another broadcast. Stay safe, stay healthy. And if you have a question, drop it in the comments below and we'll come back and answer that. Take care.